When you are a kid, friendship feels effortless. Your entire life is organized around it. You share classes, sports teams, and the same summer milestones. The literal infrastructure of school forces you together. Then you hit your 20s and that infrastructure disappears. You enter what researchers call the Great Scattering. Suddenly, you and your friends are on different timelines, moving to different cities and pulling in opposite directions. The group chats go quiet, daily hangouts become monthly, and then yearly. In that silence, we naturally default to blaming ourselves or assuming the other person simply does not care anymore. Fading adult friendships are rarely a personal failure. They're the result of invisible holding conditions quietly disappearing. Solving the isolation of adulthood requires us to stop feeling guilty about losing touch. Instead, we need to understand the actual mechanics of human connection. This diagram illustrates the necessary container for a passive, effortless friendship to survive. It's built on three empirical conditions: proximity, timing, and energy. Proximity is sheer physical closeness. Research shows that if two college students live across the hall from each other, there's a 90% chance they will become friends. If one lives just 50 feet away at the end of the hall, that probability drops to 10%. Then there's timing. Even if you live in the same city, your life stages have to align. If you are focused on building a career while your friends are having kids or attending graduate school, your daily schedules fall out of sync. Finally, there's energy. You can be close in distance and age, but evolving personal values or major lifestyle shifts can silently drain a once strong bond. When one of these pillars drops, the container changes. The friendship hasn't failed, it is simply paused by the new variables. Understanding these mechanics explains why people drift apart, but it also reveals the specific psychological function of the people inside that container. Think of your friends as distinct vaults for fragments of your identity. One friend holds your ambition, another holds your grief, another holds your humor. We do not offer the same version of ourselves to everyone. Over years of shared experiences, every true friend becomes a unique repository for a specific part of your personality. During moments of burnout or loss of self, a true friend acts as a mirror. They reflect back the specific dormant version of you they've kept safe. They are psychological anchors. Unexpected contact with an old friend reactivates a lost piece of who you are. Relying on the passive infrastructure of childhood leads to isolation. In adulthood, you have to actively design the connections you want to keep. Consider Eugene O'Kelly. He was leading a global accounting behemoth when his doctor delivered a terminal diagnosis, giving him 90 days to live. He realized, despite his professional success, he had never been truly present with his inner circle. He had missed his daughter's concerts and hadn't spent time walking through the park with his closest friends. He spent his final weeks becoming a perfect moment creator. He abandoned grand legacy gestures for unhurried radical presence with the people he loved. We must treat the maintenance of our friendships with the same proactive intensity we give to our careers. Take out your phone and send a message to someone from your past. When you talk to a current friend, ask what is truly in their heart rather than what is on their schedule. Adulthood naturally scatters us across different cities and different timelines. Our greatest protection comes from actively choosing to sustain the bonds that remind us of who we are.